Hey there, marketers. You're listening to the Son of a Pitch podcast, where modern marketing strategy is broken down into clear, practical ideas you can actually use. I'm your host, Kenneth Spreesley. Today, we're continuing our series on associations, and we're talking about something that often happens quietly, long before renewal notices ever go out: member disengagement. Because in many cases, members don't suddenly leave, they slowly disconnect first. This episode is brought to you by Pitch Cloud, the creative studio helping organizations communicate with clarity through strategy, video, and design. You can learn more at pitchcloudmanagement.com. Let's get into it. Most organizations notice cancellations. Few notice disengagement early enough. That's because disengagement usually happens gradually. A member skips an event, stops opening emails, stops participating in discussions, quietly pulls back over time. Nothing dramatic happens, but the relationship slowly weakens. And by the time renewal arrives, the emotional connection is already gone. This is difficult for associations because disengagement is often invisible. Membership still appears active in the system. The person hasn't canceled. Their dues may still be current, but participation tells a different story. And if organizations only measure membership status instead of engagement behavior, they miss the warning signs. Engagement often acts as an early indicator of future retention. When engagement declines, renewal risk usually increases. That doesn't mean every inactive member will leave, but patterns matter. If someone no longer attends, no longer interacts, or no longer consumes content, there's a good chance the perceived value is fading. And once value becomes unclear, renewal becomes difficult to justify. Disengagement is rarely just about features or benefits. It's often about emotional distance. Members stop feeling connected, they stop feeling represented, they stop feeling involved, or even relevant to the organization. And when that connection weakens, participation naturally declines. This is why loyalty and engagement are so closely tied together. People remain active when they feel the relationship still matters. Many associations focus heavily on acquisition and renewal campaigns, but fewer focus consistently on ongoing member signals, participation patterns, or quiet disengagement behavior, which means intervention happens too late. The member's already drifted. And once disengagement becomes habitual, reconnecting becomes much harder. Healthy engagement doesn't necessarily mean constant activity also. It means continued connection. Members should consistently encounter moments that reinforce relevance, value, participation, and even belonging. Those moments don't have to be large, but they have to be consistent, because consistency strengthens relationships over time. Here's a useful question to consider. Are you tracking who your members are, or are you tracking whether they're still connected? Because those two things are very different. If there's one idea to take from today's episode, it's this: members usually disengage before they cancel, and the organizations that recognize this engagement early are far more likely to retain them. That wraps up today's episode of Son of a Pitch. If this episode made you rethink how disengagement happens inside associations, share with someone working in membership or engagement strategy. Next week, we're talking about the engagement signals associations should actually be paying attention to and which metrics can be misleading. For more strategy and creative support, visit pitchcloudmanagement.com. See you next week.